And now here's Rick Casey with tonight's Last Word.
Today we mark Texas Women's Independence Day, the 91st anniversary of the certification of the 19th Amendment. That's the amendment in which women were given the right to vote. Actually, women weren't given the right to vote. People are very rarely given power. Women went out into the streets and grabbed the right to vote. Here in Texas was no different, except that, as often the case in Texas, a bit of clever politics was required. The first attempt at suffrage was during the State Constitutional Convention of 1868. T.H. Mundine of Burleson County offered a full suffrage amendment. After all, he argued, former slaves could now vote. Why not women? But a minority report called the idea unwomanly, and the amendment failed 52-13. There would be one setback after another, and the movement waxed and waned. But in the wake of World War I, it was time. One leader was Eleanor Brackenridge, sister of the banker and civic leader who gave us Brackenridge Park. She helped pave the way by organizing a leading women's civic club in San Antonio, and in 1913 helped organize the Texas Women's Suffrage Association. In 1918, she would become the first woman in Bexar County to register to vote. There were setbacks. Attempts to amend the state constitution to give women suffrage failed several times. It came close in 1916, but Pauline Wells, wife of the most powerful padrone in the Rio Grande Valley, Jim Wells, came to Austin and railed against it. Her husband had worried that, in his words, no one on earth can tell how they are going to vote or can control them. In a passionate speech, Pauline warned legislators that suffrage would lead to feminism, sex antagonism, socialism, anarchy, and Mormonism. The measure failed by 4 votes to get the 2/3 necessary in the House of Representatives. In 1918, the women would come back with a better strategy. They backed a bill that would give them the right to vote only in the primary elections. Primaries in those days were regarded as a private affair run by the political parties. The Democrats at that time allowed only white men to vote, so the law didn't require a constitutional amendment. In 1919, Texas would become only the 7th state to ratify the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Had we become that progressive? Well, not exactly. The issue had been put on a statewide ballot earlier in the year and failed by 25,000 votes. But when the legislature met in July, it received the 2/3 majority required. Perhaps the winning argument was delivered by Senator Paul Page of Bastrop when he said, "The man who votes against suffrage here and now may as well bow his head forever as far as political ambition is concerned, for women are going to vote in Texas, and the women voters will remember who have been their friends." Every one of those legislators would have to run, after all, in the primary. And that's it for Texas Week. See you next time.